and good morning to those who just came in. Okay. Until what time? Okay, sure. So today's topic is on seclusion. Seclusion, yeah? But today's gathering is, you find not so seclusion, but never mind. Later we'll explain what is, how to practice seclusion, the Buddhist definition of seclusion. Yeah, so I will show you some slide. Okay, we classify seclusion got two kind of seclusion. One is we said secular, mundane kind of seclusion. Mundane kind of seclusion. Yeah? Do you all know what the mundane kind of seclusion, the worldly kind of seclusion? Anybody know? Give a few examples. Huh? Go to jail, yes, okay, one kind of seclusion, yeah? Okay, any other kind of seclusion? As long not go to temple one, yeah, what other kind of seclusion? Maybe situation, you all know. Maybe a person depressed or what, seclusion. Come, example, anybody? Nobody, okay, never mind. Maybe you all never get upset before, all very happy people, okay. Okay, maybe sometime got few examples, maybe as antisocial, upset, maybe, who play game the whole day, young people, okay, never mind. Some people are afraid, then they hide alone, Some people are shy. So all these we considered secular, mundane seclusion. Mundane, nothing to do with religion one. Nothing to do with spiritual practice. So these are very common. I think you all should know. I don't have to go through them. Okay, now we talk about the Buddhist one. Buddhist kind of seclusion. Buddhist kind of seclusion. There's two kinds. First kind is the physical seclusion. I think some of you know. Maybe go to the forest and maybe meditate. How many of you went for a retreat before one? Okay, so at least you all roughly know something about seclusion. How many of you go to forest and meditate one? Nobody? A few people. Okay. So most of you meditate in urban area. Urban area. So basically doesn't fulfill the first kind. First kind. But actually, if you're in an empty building, consider also. Empty building. Okay. Then the second kind of seclusion is the mental kind of seclusion. That leads to normally the definition of concentration or jhana is withdraw from the senses. Seclude yourself from senses. Seclude from sensuality. Unskillful quality. So what we did a bit just now is basically seclude the mind from unskillful qualities. The mind always have unskillful this habit. Whatever we see is mind. We come to Buddhist fellowship, mind center. We see the person next to you, or my friend, my this, my who, my family, my who and my who. So everything is mine. My shirt, my this, my this. So everything is mine. My house, my property, my car, my this. So a lot of, we say, unskillful thought. A lot of expectation. So when we have this right contemplation, we are slowly secluding the mind from unskillful qualities, unskillful thinking, unskillful thought. So this is the second kind of seclusion. So two aspects, physical and mental. In fact, during the Buddha's time, when before the Buddha got enlightened, he was practicing this ascetic practice. One of his practices is to practice seclusion. What he did was he really hid in the forest, this ascetic bodhisattva, not yet Buddha yet. So whenever he meets somebody, just approach and he hear somebody walking footsteps, he run far away until the extreme. This kind of seclusion also have. So basically, not the kind of seclusion the Buddhists encourage. Of course, can seclude. Whatever come, we at peace with them. Whatever people come, come, we don't have to hide as though some kind of fugitive like that. So this is there are different practices of seclusion. Different religion they practice seclusion differently. Okay. Okay, so now we talk about benefits of practicing alone. Yeah. So now we talk about physical kind of seclusion. What is the benefit? Why people must go to mountain, must go to forest and meditate alone? Yeah. Anybody know? Why must be alone? Why cannot meditate? You all can meditate when you're in a group. Yeah. Why cannot meditate in a group? Why is more beneficial meditating alone? Oh, you all never tried before, so never mind. Huh? Okay. Okay. So, according to the sutta, yeah, you have the pleasure of renunciation. Pleasure of renunciation, because in our secular life we have we say happiness and pleasure of material thing. Yeah. So when we say alone or seclusion physically, then we have something like cold turkey this we say withdrawal symptom, everything. Then you experience what is the happiness of not having material thing. So this is the pleasure of renunciation. First, you must able to differentiate this first. If let's say you ever try to go alone, practice alone. The pleasure of seclusion. So got these two, renunciation, seclusion. The pleasure of peace. Then the mind, we have peace. Nobody disturb you, nobody call you. So this is very peaceful. In fact, when I first ordained my boss, Ajahn King, he said, okay, all the new monks confiscate all your handphone. So basically, I got no handphone for like 5 years or 6 years. So no phone. So sometimes he sent me to Thailand. Say, okay, go to this monastery to train. So everything he settled for me, the air ticket, the vehicle transport. So you just follow only, Then he send you, okay, drop you there. Okay, a few months later, I see you again. So some place really no electricity, nothing. I went to this Kanchanaburi. No electricity. Winter time, no water heater, or the water like freezing, and so really nothing. So but you have pleasure of peace, very peaceful. Then after some time, okay, not bad. So you have pleasure of peace. And eventually, if let's say you're able to reduce your desire, overcome, then you have this pleasure of self-awakening. This is the final stage. So these are the benefits. So is seclusion only for monastics? What do you think? Mainly for monastic. So how about lay people? Do you think the Buddha encouraged seclusion? Who think Buddha encouraged lay people to go for seclusion? Okay, a few, okay. So majority don't agree or don't know yet. Okay, never mind. We go through, okay. So there are people who do a lot of dana to the Buddha. Then the Buddha says, okay, householder, you have provided the community of monks with robes, with food, medicine, lodging. Then he said, but you shouldn't rest content with the thought. We have provided with all these 4 requisites. He said, he said, not enough. The Buddha said, not enough. You can do more actually. You should train yourself. Let's periodically enter and remain in seclusion and rapture. That's how you should train yourself. So the Buddha said, must periodically go to seclusion. Not every day because you need to work, you need to feed your family and so on. How many of you retired really? So got a lot of time to seclusion. Maybe try. Those who are maybe working, maybe take time off, then go with your family, retreat together, also can. So this is the Buddha's advice. Okay, then how about spiritual friend? You heard before, no? Kalyana Mitta. Heard before? Have. Okay, so this one more familiar. So remember Ananda, he told the Buddha, spiritual friend is half of the holy life. So basically you need peer pressure and peer companion. Then Buddha said, no, not half, yeah. You need is basically the whole of the holy life, this spiritual friend, your companion. And usually people only show this half of the sutta. Actually, there's a second half. You want to know the second half? Yeah, so this is very popular, okay, must have friend, yeah, must come together. Nothing wrong, very good. You need a companion. Initially, we need this emotional support. Those who know psychology, at least Maslow's theory or something. Yeah? So there's a emotional, we said, step to make a person contented. Okay, then the next one. In the sutta, it said this spiritual friend is basically, we said, a condition to practice further, yeah? To practice the Eightfold Path. Yeah, so this spiritual friend is not to come here, sing song and play, and then go outside, drink beer, and yeah, this kind of friendship also have, but we call it spiritual friend is to bring you to the Eightfold Path, to the right thing. So eventually when the person, let's say in psychology, there's this thing called self-actualization. So when the person is so contented really, don't need to be around with people already. Then this is for this group of people. Okay. When a person develop this Eightfold Path, dependent on seclusion, dependent on dispassion, dependent on cessation, resulting in relinquishment. Yeah? So this is the final one. Like let's say the Buddha also meditate alone. Yeah? But before that, he also got 5 companions. 5 companions. But after that, these 5 companions somehow abandon him also. Need to practice alone. Okay. So seclusion also is a way, we said, to practice right speech. Right speech, yeah? So a lot of time we say things sometimes may not be intentional, may offend people also. Yeah, may offend people. Okay, so this, the Dhamma, those who really want to seek peace, let's say seek enlightenment one, this Dhamma is meant for the reclusive, those who like to practice alone, yeah? Not for one who is entangled. Yeah, so if the person always like to involve so many things, then not say it's wrong. You need, maybe this person need a lot of parami, a lot of merit, but you want to talk about reaching the final peace. Then it's a later stage of evolution. This psychological evolution. Then the person getting more peaceful. Yeah. So how is their social life when these people practice? Sure, in the forest you think got nobody disturb you, man? Sure have one. Animal will disturb you also. Okay, but if there are people who come and disturb, let's say a forest practitioner, be it a lay person, monastic, or even let's say royal authority also have, yeah? So if that person is really a practicing person, is really enjoy peace one. Not ordinary Hill tribes people. They also stay in the seclusion alone in the forest, but very different kind of behavior. So for those who are practicing one, then they will just talk only necessary to make them leave only. Okay, hi, how are you? Okay, maybe drink some tea. After, okay, bye-bye, and then go off. They won't go and ask, hey, I want to do this, do that, do that. So they won't, we say, build on and interact and have more reaction and more interaction. So these are the people. Sometimes very, very simple. Sometimes you go to forest master, then they just smile at you. Okay, very simple. They don't speak much also. Yeah. So this is the in the Anuruddha Sutta. Okay. Any questions so far before I go on the how to practice seclusion? No. Okay. So everyone okay? So this, in this sutta is a case example, it's a study. How to practice seclusion rightly, how to practice seclusion wrongly. Okay, so this Migajala, Migajala, he asked the Buddha, to what extent, Lord, is one a person living alone? And to what extent is one a person living with a companion? So these are the two questions. So the Buddha give the first one, the first example. Okay, say there are forms cognized by the eye, sounds by the ear, by the nose, the tongue, yeah, body, and the intellect. So we say these are the six sense bases. Six sense bases, yeah. So whatever you see, all these are the forms, yeah. This screen is the form, yeah. It's a form. Then when you hear me talking, you're using your what? Okay, this is primary school science. I don't have to teach you. So this in Buddhism we call it we say the 18 elements. 18 elements. So what are the 18 elements? 6 are the organs. Your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and your mind. These are the 6 organs. Then we have the 6 we say 6 objects. 6 sense objects. Anything physical, tangible, that's object. Yeah? So whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you smell, the aroma. So all these are the 6 things. Then another 6 thing is called the contact. The other 6 things is the consciousness. The 6 things are the consciousness. So when you see something with your eye, it's called eye consciousness. When you hear something, it's called what? Ear consciousness. Yeah, ear consciousness. So there are 6 kinds of consciousness in Buddhism. So in now we talk about interfaith a bit. In the Indian context, the word consciousness is vijnana. Vijnana. And vijnana has many definitions. Many definitions. So one of these definitions is your cognitive attention. And the Buddha used cognitive attention. In, let's say, other religion or sometimes some other context, vijnana can mean your life force, your soul, the spirit. So in Buddhism, the Buddha used vijnana in terms of the 6 sense consciousness. So don't mix them up. Don't mix them. If you mix them, then the understanding will be very different. So got many definitions of vijnana. So in Buddhist context, you want to talk about practice, then is this 6 sense basis. 6 sense basis, yeah? Okay, then when there is contact with the form, contact, then there will be feeling. Either you feel pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Yeah? Let's say you sit down there, you feel the contact to your body or your seat. How many of you feel pleasant all the time? One? Maybe some of you start to feel pain. Then you adjust and maybe feel nice for a while. Then afterwards, feel pain again. Then you adjust, feel. So this is the nature of we say impermanent. Yeah. So feeling, contact, feeling, all these are impermanent. Okay. Then when there is feeling, then it said it conditions craving. Yeah. When there's feeling, then we either react. Let's say we feel pain with it, and we have aversion. That is a craving. Craving got 3 kinds. We said kama tanha, bhava tanha, and vibhava tanha. 3 kinds of craving. Kama tanha means craving for sensual pleasure. Anything that is nice you like. There is, or you have expectation, very nice. So this is craving number 1. Bhava tanha, that means craving for eternalism. Maybe you want to be young forever, want to be healthy forever. So it's another kind of expectation. Or sometimes if, let's say, a person in meditation, very nice state, very enjoyable. You want this to be forever. Also a kind of craving, eternalism. Yeah. So this is the second kind of craving. And craving number 3 is what? Vibhava tanha is, we say, annihilation, want to get rid. Very pain, I want to get rid of this pain. Then you move lah. Very pain, I want to get rid. So these are the 3 kinds of craving. 3 kinds of craving. So feeling will result in craving. This is we said the untrained mind, we have this. Feeling will result in craving. Natural is a chain reaction. So when we have anything pleasant, then we have craving, or we like. Unpleasant feeling, then we reject. So this is the craving aspect. So when you cling on something that's nice, or you reject something that you don't like, then we say it builds this passion, more passion, more clinging. Then when clinging, then something will happen. In Buddhist psychology, not the normal Western psychology, Buddhist psychology is when there's desire first, then ego will arise, becoming. Why you feel I is I? Why do you feel you are you? It's because of desire, craving. In some Greek philosophy, some Greek philosopher, they will say, I think, therefore I am. It's because of some formation come first, then the I will exist. In maybe some other schools of psychology, they say, this soul or this I, this self is permanent. In fact, psychology, the root word psyche, the root word is a Greek word for the soul, P-S-Y-C-H-E, psyche. So those who study psychology believe in studying of the soul, studying of the soul. But in Buddhism, we talk about dependent origination. We don't talk about the soul. So this is the difference. So when we talk about Buddhism, we have to relabel and say Buddhist psychology. Buddhist psychology. Buddhist psychology. So what happened is, I give an example. Let's say you are listening to my Dhamma talk now. What is your role? You're a listener, your audience. Okay, your audience. So basically, the personality you have now is a Dhamma student, right? But if you meet let's say if you meet your parents, what's your role? You're the son or daughter. Then if you meet your workers in your workplace, your colleague if you meet your boss in your workplace, then it's another thing. If you meet your friends outside, then it's a different thing again, right? So different scenario, we have different personality. With different contact, different expectation. Then you need to behave differently. You cannot behave the same towards your boss and to your family member, cannot. Or you cannot behave the same with your friend and your parents. So you get to trouble one. So basically, different condition, different contact, different feeling, different expectation, then different personality, different behavior, and different ego will arise. So when I talk to you, I have a teacher personality, teacher ego. When I go back to temple, I have a different personality. I become a junior monk. So I must, grab Bante, Amat Bante. So different personality. So there's no fixed personality in Buddhism. No fixed personality. So this is the, we say the chain reaction. And when because of this ego, when there's an ego, when this existence of the I, then when there's aging, sickness, and death, then there's experiencing of aging, sickness, and death. But if the ego, if let's say a person have no ego, then there's no experiencing of aging, sickness, and death. Physically, you see the Buddha also grow old after. The Buddha also get sickness and pass away. But because he discovered non-self, non-ego, then there's nobody experiencing aging, sickness, and death. So it's a state of mind. It's an experience of no ego. It's not a theory. Non-self. Study non-self. But we still feel there's a self. So how to reduce this self is to reduce the craving, reduce greed, hatred, delusion. When we face something, we react with something the senses see, smell, hear something, tasting and touch. We must interact in a way where the mind don't react with greed and hatred. No greed, no hatred, then the craving reduce, then what happen? Ego reduce. When ego reduce, then Then let's say you sit down, then no feel pain, very like nothing like that. So that's how time fly past. Time will fly very fast. Yeah. Okay, so this is basically, you said, the wrong seclusion. So if a person living in this way, when they have contact with the senses, then they always react with greed and hatred. Let's say a person, even in the forest, in the wilderness, got mosquito come, they're always fighting the mosquito. Got squirrel come and shit all over the place, then they're always chasing after the squirrel. So how to live in seclusion? How to live in peace? And the cricket make noise, they must put the earplug. Or must chase the animal away. So the person won't have peace. Won't have peace. It's not the real seclusion. So the Buddha said this is called still living with a companion. Still living with a companion. Still living with a companion. Why is that? Because craving. Craving is the companion that's not abandoned by the person. Okay, so this one is a bit chim, so for those who are more serious, then you might consider this seriously. Okay, so if a person living with a companion is because of a desire, expectation, then you're living with a companion. If you have let's say a person is engaged with a partner. If the person has no more desire for the partner, then the person is as though alone already. If a person still have a very nice feeling to the partner, then he said there is a companion. So that's the example. Okay, now the Buddha gives another example. Or rather, basically I have briefly covered already. So this is the opposite of the wrong seclusion. This is the right kind of seclusion. How to live alone. What is really alone, So basically everything's the same. You see, smell, think, hear, taste and touch. This one cannot change one. Cannot change one. Some people think, during the Buddha's time there are other sects or other religion. They believe if you want to reduce, overcome craving, you must remove your senses. They really dig out the eye, pull out the ear, So they cannot see, cannot smell, cannot anything. So they thought that's the ultimate practice already, No contact means no craving. And then they thought overcome the craving already. Then that's the case, all the disabled people all enlightened already. Because we still have the mind, we still think. So there's still one more thing, we still react with the thoughts, all the things we can think, no eyes, never mind, you can visualize things, all right? So there's the mind door. There's still the mind door, Mind door cannot pull out. You pull out means you die already, your brain, You pull out means you conquer kill already, Okay, so whatever the senses, there'll be feeling natural. Feeling is natural, either nice or not nice, pleasant, unpleasant. So this is a natural thing. But if you want to practice seclusion correctly, then it's basically don't react to them. Don't react to them. In the Thai tradition, then they have this reminder, they say Bhutto. Bhutto means awakening. The awakened mind. That means the mind that is supposed to be pure and doesn't react. So it's a reminder, So it's a reminder. So when the person recite Bhutto, then they must remind themselves, don't react. Whatever painful feeling, don't react, Okay, so this is the practice. So when there's, we say no greed that arises, no craving, then naturally there'll be no clinging. No clinging, no addiction to whatever sensation that a person experiences. When there's no addiction, no expectation, then there's no personality. This fetter. In Buddhism, there are 10 fetters. They say there are 10 fetters, 10 things that bind you to samsara, to existence. Why there's these 10 things? So the number 10th, or the hardest to get rid, is basically the ego, the I, the conceit. Yeah, I am. Why do you feel you are you? Me are me. Yeah? So this is the ego, the most difficult to get rid of. Even the other saints, we call it the semi-enlightened beings, these sotapan or this, they still got this I, this ego, the conceit. They only get rid of this certain view and stuff like that. Yeah, so only let's say a fully enlightened being, then they will get rid of the last factor of this ego. Yeah, so basically we have to keep on practicing and reduce. Okay, so if let's say you make it, then a person is said to be living alone. Yeah? No more companion of desire. So the Buddha give a case study. If a person living in this way, if he live in a village or in a city, if there are people around, like right now, a lot of people around, then the person is not affected. So what if a person is behind me or in front of me? You don't react, you don't go purposely go and look at the color of the shirt, what brand is he wearing, add salt and pepper, go and say, oh, this how expensive the shirt, nice or not, which brand, which country. Then no problem, then no suffering. But you start to look at detail, this person got wash the clothes or not. So then you have problem. Then you have this personality, this fault-finding personality. Then you have suffering. Yeah. So the person living alone is said to be a monk. So the Buddha's definition of monk is a mental one. Yeah. So how many of you think that a lay person can get enlightenment? How many of you? Okay. Not bad. Yeah. Okay. At least maybe you did your research or something. So actually possible. Yeah. Lay person can get enlightened. In the sutta also have. This what sutta? The Brahmins of Sala, Salayaka Sutta. Basically, a person, even 5 precepts, also can practice unto enlightenment, full enlightenment. Yeah, it's basically the 10 meritorious action. Basically, the 5 precepts plus the 3 wholesome deeds. The precept on speech cover four wrong speech already, which is the 4 demeritorious actions. So if a person don't cover the 4 speech, don't do the wrong 3 action, they have the 3 right thoughts, non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion, then very good already. The person continue to be mindful of this right thought all the time, can get enlightened this lifetime. Yeah, Salayaka Sutta. Yeah, Brahmins of Sala. Okay, so because of that, then craving, when ended, then there's no companion. No companion, they say, it's living alone. Yeah. So basically now, you all know how to live alone already. Yeah, you all know how to live alone. I give you the rough guideline. Yeah. Then it's up to you all to practice. If you really want to interact, then of course it's your natural habit already. From young, you know how to have companion already. Yeah. Yeah. So now I teach you how to live alone. Even when you're physically alone, also won't get bored one. So this is the real living alone. Yeah. Okay. Any question? We have like 15 minutes. Yes. There's for neutral feeling, we said there's a delusion also. There's a delusion. You think that one is might be forever, Yeah. If a person don't, let's say, contemplate on impermanence, then you think that is yours. The neutral feeling is yours. Okay. Any other question? Yeah. Q&A. Yeah.
All right. Any further questions to Bhante? Yeah, it's officially Q&A sessions. Yeah. Can I just pass the mic to you, brother?
Yeah. Thank you, Bante. Just now you were talking about playing different roles with different people, your parents, your boss, your colleagues and all that, which I think is correct. You must play your role when you're in that situation.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think there is a possibility of also being the same person in all these various roles, meaning that you switch between that role and your true self. True self, I don't mean that true self as in the self. That means you are the same, whether you're with your children, your boss, that part you maintain as your background, and then you play your due role in the foreground. So that way you are the same person. See, you don't switch. The essential aspects of that is that you remain true, you respect him, you don't expect anything from him, you give him the space, that sort of. But I mean that same person for different roles. So what are your comments on that?
Yeah, so basically this is the 99.99% of our view, yeah, that there's a self. Ultimately there's the same person that talk to our boss, the same person that talk to our parents, the same person that talk to our friends, and the behavior. But in Buddhism, when you talk about non-self, this one is eventually to be realized. So theoretically, we can just believe in non-self first. Although physically we experience the self, and then we strongly believe there's a self. And only when we reduce this craving, then one day, let's say if you really find that, there's really experience non-self, the ego suddenly just disappear, then maybe your view might change. But right now, this is a common view, yeah? Common view.
Thank you.
All right, any further question?
Hi, Bante. Basically, in this day and age, right, the society is such that, students since young have been, told to achieve the best results, right, to be the best that they can. This society is where, people has been taught to run faster, live harder, and swim even further, right? But, well, in one side, people might call it aspiration, right? But on the other side, isn't that craving?
On one side, it's called as what?
Aspiration.
Aspiration.
Right? Aspiration
okay.
and motivation to bring you to the next level, right? But on the other side, isn't that part of craving?
Yeah. Okay, so aspiration in Buddhism can be a good thing. In fact, in the Buddhist definition of craving, like mentioned, there are three kinds of craving. These basically greed, hatred, delusion. This kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha. These three. So if a person have a pure intention without these three, then it's a good intention, good aspiration. If a person have aspiration with a lot of expectation, then it will be a lot of suffering when they go through the process. Yeah, so it's Four Noble Truths in action. Yeah, so if a person have a very pure, sincere intention, then when they do something, they won't find it tough. Yeah, although they go through the process, but like no suffering like that. In fact, they enjoy what they're doing. Yeah, so this one small case study, yeah. So again, how to tune the mind to have this non-greed, hatred, delusion? Very hard, because it's up to the individual. Yeah, only the individual will know how much suffering they will face while going through aiming their objective and stuff like that.
Okay, next question, if there is.
Actually, my question was following through from his question, that how do you apply this seclusion in modern life? I guess seclusion is what leads to peace, right? We all want peace, but isn't that just one form of life? I mean, there's always excitement, discovery, exploration, other forms of delight may not be causing, I would say that, this peace of mind, right? So how do we apply this seclusion in modern life? Yeah.
Because today's talk is the importance of seclusion. Yeah. So I have to stress that there is, I must not deny there, earlier on we mentioned there's this, we say pleasure of the material and this circular life. Sure have one, there's pleasure, certain kind of happiness. But when you talk about the spiritual kind of happiness, the Buddha said is another aspect. In fact, the Buddha's comparison is much more greater. Say all the pleasures in the world, the secular world, is 1/16 or one small fraction of the peace of this spiritual kind of seclusion. Yeah. So this is another side to explore. Another side to explore. So when we talk about investment, we said there are three or rather two kinds of investment. First is the physical investment. The Buddha teaches the lay businessman how to be happy in your lay life, how to make enough money, how to spend, how to save, this kind of thing. So this is the physical kind of happiness you need as a lay person. Is a fact of life. Yeah, you cannot escape. Yeah. See, if everybody run to the forest, then I think the world will be upside down. So the society is in that way. So we have to go with the flow. Yeah, you need to have this physical kind of happiness. Then we said there's a spiritual happiness. Yeah, besides observe morality, the precepts, so on and so forth. Then there's a internal kind of peace, internal kind of assurance. Yeah, the spiritual practice, Eightfold Path. So this is the internal spiritual kind of happiness. It's a two kind of happiness. Yeah. So a person can be physically very happy, but internally very remorseful and guiltful also have. Yeah. So to be, we said, more holistic in the well-being and the health. Then we talk about the both secular and the spiritual. Must both invest yeah. Okay. Any other question? Yeah.
Hi, Venerable. I'd like to clarify my understanding. Just now you were mentioning that if we so-called let go of our desire and our aversion, we are able to slowly see anatta, that means non-self. So is it equivalent to the practice of equanimity?
Equanimity is a basis, yeah? It's a condition to be able to practice, to eventually to so-called reach non-self. If a person reach, we say, equanimity from, let's say, through concentration, meditation, these jhanas, then it's not yet enough for non-self. Equanimity, they're still clinging to the equanimity. So there is the, we call it form desire, yeah? Form or formless desire. So there's still a personality. Yeah? But if a person use equanimity to reflect on impermanence, then that is the, we said, the eventually they'll reach, we call it the non-self. Yeah?
So if we reflect on letting go of our desire and aversion in our daily life, or we try not to, so-called if we encounter the sixth sense objects, we try not to cling on to our desire or aversion. So does it lead to us understand more of non-self?
This one have to be consistent, then hopefully, if the conditions are right, then you keep on continue practicing, then just wait and be patient. One day, yeah.
Okay, so if besides that, do we need samadhi to support the conditions as well? Yeah,
you need the equanimity as anchor point. Yeah. And actually, to add on, there's another kind of equanimity. Another kind of equanimity that is not from the jhanas. The other equanimity is from the, we say, 7 factors of enlightenment. That kind of equanimity is different from the first one that we mentioned. So that it will be the closer to the basis to non-self.
Thank you.
Bante, just now you mentioned about the seclusion in city and seclusion in forest. Actually, it's a state of mind. So, if let's say we can practice seclusion in city, is there really a need to go to the forest and practice, or what's the difference? Because I've never gone to the forest, so probably you can share what is the difference between these two.
I think if most guys who serve NS if you're combat fit, then you'll experience a bit of the forest. Yeah, so it's a good we say to test the different parameters. So sometimes we may overlook. We thought we are very happy in city life, yeah. But some people they thought, hey, they practice very good in city life. Then they go to the forest, then the mind always I like to react, and so that is not the real peace yet, not the real seclusion yet. So it's basically comfort zone kind of peace, not the real independent peace. It's still dependent on certain conditions, dependent on, okay, everything's still nice, yeah, still comfortable, then there's peace. Yeah. But if in times of, let's say, in a forest, let's say, that's why the forest practice, there's this called the Tudong practice, the Tudong monks, yeah. They always stay a certain place, maybe for a few days, then they travel again, stay a few days, travel. So it's to make them don't cling on to a place. Don't cling on to any place. So then they really will experience this, we say, the inner peace, independent of external things, yeah. Yeah, so only when you're able to differentiate these two kind of peace from this, when you sleep also can be peaceful, right? So when there is a peace, you're able to differentiate the peace that's independent and dependent on different things, then they want to settle in the city or whatever, then it's up to them, yeah? Then they know how to sustain this independent peace.
Right, any further questions to Bante? Okay.
I just want to know very simply, the hermit, which need not be Buddhist, does the hermit have some form of spiritual seclusion there, or is it purely material for a hermit?
You want to ask about their practice?
Yeah, does a hermit have some element of spiritual seclusion in them, or is it purely physical only?
In fact, it's possible, yeah, for any religion, if they practice sincerely, yeah, they will have this certain inner kind of we say contentment. Yeah, in fact, before the Buddha's time, these ascetic teachers, they already taught the Bodhisattva this formless concentration. Yeah, so they already have the method. In fact, if you want to do research into this yoga, there are different kinds of yoga. Yeah, so the Buddha, what he learned is this dhyana yoga. Dhyana is a Sanskrit word for jhana. Dhyana. So in fact, in the suttas, these Brahmins, these Bhattvaraja, these ascetic followers, they know that the Buddha is practicing jhanas, and because they know about this yoga thing. Yeah? So when they go to the forest and see the Buddha meditating, then they exclaim, "Oh, you are practicing jhanas. Is it because you want to go to heaven in the next life, so that after that you may come down and become a universal king again or something?" So their understanding very different, but they know it's practicing jhana. Yeah, so they already have all these things. They already have.
All right. In view of time, can I invite the last two questions from brothers and sisters?
Bhante, my question is with regard to the Eightfold Path. When we talk about right action and right speech, we usually, I usually ask myself, who determines what is right? Then we boil down to right intention. And then again, who determines what is right? So it's quite subjective in terms of right intention. Based on our own conditioned beings and our own perception, we may think that what we are doing is the right way, but to someone else, it may not be right.
Yes,
so
correct, yeah.
maybe you can give me a guideline.
Yeah, that's why the what you say is correct. Yeah, because everything is subjective. What we say in our culture, we think is correct. We go to another culture and we say something, they may feel offended, and they think it's wrong. Yeah, so this Buddha says no one is free from praise and blame. Even the Buddha himself, whatever he teaches, there's another religion will criticize him. So Buddha is supposed to be perfect, right speech, How can he offend some other religion? Yeah, so it's nothing to do with that kind of right and wrong. In fact, what is the Buddha's definition of right will be, you have to see the Eightfold Path in terms of the wheel. Yeah, so if you spin the first two correctly, then the rest will be correct. If you have this right thought, non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion, then you say is no harm one. Yeah, so it's the internal right, right to liberation. Yeah, the right to liberation, not the right to appease people. No, not the external kind of right. It's the internal kind of right. So this is the Buddhist teaching. Yeah? So external kind of right, you need to attend course or workshop, how to be etiquette, how to have be courteous. All these are the external kind of right. So internal kind of rightness, this one is a different thing. Yeah.
So just to maybe as a guide, would then the karma that returns be a reflection of how wrong or how right we are?
In fact, pre-Buddhist religion, they will emphasize a lot on the external, the kind of karma, the external right and wrong thing you do. Yeah, the Buddha emphasized more on the internal kind of karma, the kind of the obstruction to your right thoughts, your anger, and everything. So all these are the internal karma for meditators. Yeah, you want to talk about external karma, that one is more on the moral, don't do bad thing, don't kill, don't steal. Yeah, so this is the two kinds of karma. Yeah, so if you do external thing that offend people, then you get back what you reap lah. So this is the external kind of karma. Yeah, and so you might say something to you is correct, but to them is offensive. Then they will do something back to you lah. Yeah, so this is the external kind of karma. But you want to talk about internal kind of karma. Let's say you say something that is externally correct, politically correct, but internally the intention is not correct. So it's the internal karma, internal obstruction. Then very hard to practice lah. You got this obstruction. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
And one last question. Who will be the lucky one? Anyone? Well, if not, then we'll close the Sunday service this morning. But before that, can we invite Bhante probably to proceed with the lunch first?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.